Hey, good evening, family. Welcome to the Underrated Darkness. I got another jazz innovator, the late great Charlie Parker, called Bird, Charlie Chan, Yardbird. So we're gonna wait for some more people to come in. Gonna wait for some more people to come in. Another one tell you, I come with them bangers. Did the late great John William Coltrane. And I'm gonna hit you up with Charlie Parker. Wait for some more people to come in. Good. Waiting some more people to come in. That would do some announcement. To get some announcements out the way, then we'll get to the story of the late great jazz innovator. There it is. What's going on? D Red, the blue car scar. What it do? Brother Doobin. Thanks for coming. I did John. I did a late great. I did a jazz innovator last night. John William Coltrane. I'm gonna hit y'all with the late great jazz innovator, Charlie Parker. Oh yeah. I know a little stuff. I know a little here and there. Yes, the bird. That's right. And I did John Coltrane last night. So y'all can check that whenever I finish this live stream. Y'all can check that out too. Get them lights up on those too. Yeah. Gonna wait for some more people to fill this up before I get this going. Yeah. But check it, but whenever I finish, y'all, check out John Coltrane. John William Coltrane. Oh yeah. Before John Coltrane passed away, he was starting to play the flute, the alto flute. Mm-hmm. John Coltrane. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I love jazz. I love jazz. I don't tell. See, this one thing about me. I don't let everybody know, but I like jazz. I love jazz. I love jazz. I like innovative. I do. I did. If y'all want to find out, y'all can go back in my archives. I did about Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, Billie Holiday, not too long ago, I did about Hazel Charles. It's all in the archives, family. You can check it out. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, D-Red. Nothing wrong with that. My late father loves jazz. I mean, because he was a chef. So every time he's a cook, he always listened to jazz. So you know, I always looked at Cal Amazing, Duke Ellington, Lester Young, the late great Louis Armstrong. That I don't think he'll get the credit he deserves. Um, yeah, Cal Bass, yeah. Heidi, 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 ho, yeah. That's the young George Gershwin. But see, at the time of jazz, though, a lot of people did not give us as credit as jazz innovators. They was George Duke. Yeah, George Duke, yeah. He was like contemporary jazz, but you can throw him in there. You can throw him there because he did come from that genre of jazz, yeah. He's one of the first ones that started contemporary jazz. Take it to the next level back in the 70s. Yo, George Duke, very underrated. Very underrated. He brought the contemporary jazz and R&B and fused it. He followed the likes of Miles Davis. Miles Davis, when he do Bitches Brew in '69, finally fused that in. But he been doing that like for years prior to that. And you got Don John Coltrane. You got Thelonious Monk. Can't leave out Thelonious Monk. I did a lot. I did a lot with Thelonious Monk too. But y'all got to go way back. That's when back in the days I did live stream on my phone. So y'all gotta look for those. But I believe I did something dealing with Smoke. Yeah, I love dealing with Smoke. I believe it's something like Baba Wee Wee, something like that back in '81. It's TK TS Monk. TK Monk, something like that. And plus he had a slow jam back in the mid '80s. It was nice too. Maybe in the early '80s, mid '80s, something like that. But that was a nice jam too. Annette B, beautiful one. How you doing? Cannibal Ollie, yeah. I'm gonna do something by him. He's very underrated. Very underrated. I even did I even did live. I think I did a live stream about Freddie Hubbard. Another jazz great. Freddie Hubbard did a song, No Street in Fulton, back in my hometown, Brooklyn, New York. That's a true names of the streets. Because he was living in Brooklyn for a long time. The late great Freddie Hubbard. Another one. I think I did a story. I don't know. I gotta look through my archives one day to see which ones I didn't do. I think I did D-Ray. I'm not sure. I gotta look through. But if not, I'm definitely gonna do one about Freddie Hubbard. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do one about Freddie Hubbard. Because he don't get the credit he deserves. Rainy woman, thanks for coming. But I gotta look through my archives. Even if I do it, might be second time on my channel. So what? Who cares? But I think I did. I think I did a video about him. I'm not sure. I gotta look through it, D-Red. But if not, I'm definitely going in the near future. I'm definitely gonna do one about definitely gonna do a story about Freddie Hubbard. Definitely. Very underrated. Very underrated composer too. One of the few guys that help fuse things too. Have fused different types of music too. But Freddie Parker, he died too young. He was on drugs. He was depressed and everything. But in a short time, he did a lot. I just wish that I would love to see John Coltrane and Parker to play compose each other. Though with Sarah Vaughan and Ella Fitzgerald, Rochelle Farrell, yeah, I kind of like her. Yeah, I do. She probably contemporary jazz. Yeah, she can go R&B or jazz, but I like her. She got some songs that is okay. Come from the rest of the development. It's okay. You know. And I think I did one about Diana Washington. She was one of the few women that could sing jazz and R&B. Oscar Peterson too, yeah. I did some Oscar Peterson, but it didn't come out. D-Red, I had to scratch that. So I gotta do it again. Cause the sound of my phone was so I gotta delete that. Yeah. We're gonna wait for a few more minutes before we'll get on read about Charlie Parker, the late great one. I'm hitting y'all some joints. I'm not gonna do just jazz, I'm gonna hit blues too. I already did. Oh yeah, I did a history of R&B music family. Want you to go to the archives and check it out. Let's get them lights up on those. Also, I did Blue Eye Music. Blue Eye Music. I did a story about that. Want you to check that out? Get the lights on those. Ramsey Lewis, another one. Check that out. Get the lights on those. I'm giving y'all some jewels. Check it out. Um, get them lights up. Also, did about Motown too. Did about Motown too. Check those out. Get them lights up. Know everything I said. Go to get them lights up. Cause the more you get the lights up, the more people can be demand for it. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, D-Rad. Appreciate that. But I was doing music even prior before that anyway. I just don't get back into it. Let me say. Yeah, Mickey Howard, though, Joe. That's another one that can go both ways. That she could do contemporary jazz and R&B. Back in the 80s, a lot of people understand. Back in the 80s, they was doing a lot of fusion too. Some of the fusion I didn't really like with rock. They try to mix rock. Honestly, that's part of music too. They trying to mix rock, contemporary. They mix music. But and that was and see in the 80s, and that was during the time that was a lot of people of different cultures was doing our music too. They was into contemporary jazz. Even back in the 70s too, but it became more commercialized in the 80s. Oh yeah, I keep my stream. I keep all my streams. I keep all my streams. That's what I'm saying. You ain't have to just look for music. Just go through my channel, and then wherever you like, just drop a comment. Please drop a comment. Hit the like, drop a comment. Cause I got some stuff that I got some hidden stuff like way back too. Want y'all check it out. Matter of fact, on my community, on my channel, I want y'all check those out. I post those. I post some old. I post old streams on there. Y'all can go check it out too. Let's get them likes up on those. And I have to go to the real deep in the archives, pull those up. So check those out too. We're gonna give about another 6 more minutes. Oh, the ones who didn't hear, Saturday I did a live stream and talk about for a while. I'm not gonna really do any panel discussion. It's gonna be like Southern. Like the only time it probably be like panel discussion is gonna be like men's talk. D-Red and the rest of the men, I want you to join that this coming Friday. And also on my my sports show. Happy everybody, happy this past Tuesday because we do it Monday. We do it Monday, but it happened this past Tuesday. And also yes, last night, and also my fellowship dinner live. I'm gonna have a panel, but between that, it's gonna I'm gonna have panel discussions very subtly. It's not gonna be very selectively. This is gonna be happening for a while, so it's gonna be some lives. I'm just gonna do it without panel discussion. You know, it's gonna be for a while. So all you have to do just go back to Saturday. What's the name of it? Well, y'all find it Saturday. This past Saturday, y'all just listen through it and everything. Like I said, I had to make some changes within my within the platform. So, no. 3 more minutes, then we go get on with Charlie Bird Parker Jr. Yes, he's a junior. Oh, you did? That's cool. Yo, Jesse Powell is very underrated. Jesse Powell is very underrated. Yeah, that's cool. I hear that, bro. That's all right. You dropped some history on there. See, you got about history on Doctor's channel. See, he got brother Newman. He said he went to school, Jesse Powell. See that? That history right there. That we don't pay attention to it. Now I know some ladies said, "What about the ladies and stuff?" Like I said, I did Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan. Look for those. It's in the archives, sisters. Look for those. It's in there. I'm glad everybody is doing all right. Um, Thanks for joining me. Very much appreciated. And I think I'm just going to get on. And if you know anybody that want to join the live stream, you join to hear this right now. Let somebody know. They can come right now and listen to it. All right? Give it about 1 or 2 more minutes. And when y'all come in, hit the like button. Y'all come in, hit the like button. Okay, cool. That's all right. That's all right. And I want y'all to share this too. Want you to share the one John Coltrane and some of those? Share that. Share. I want y'all to go share those too. And share this too through our social media and stuff. Very much appreciate. All right, we're gonna get it on. This is the late great Charlie Parker. As it goes, Charlie Parker Jr., born April 29th, 1920, passed away early March 21st, 1955. He was only 34. Known as Yardbird and Bird, and also Charlie Chan. They didn't have it, I just looked it up. Was an American jazz saxophonist and composer. Parker was highly influential jazz soloist and a lead figure in the development of bebop. I'm gonna stop right there. If anybody know the Sounds of Philadelphia, when Gamma Huff, now Sounds of Philadelphia, Gamma Huff did not really discover, but they took it to the next level. Now, Leon Huff, one half of Gamble Huff, he originally from Camden, New Jersey. And then when he started learning about music, he learned about for bebop, and he learned from Charlie Parker. That's when he started learning to play piano in the bebop since he played like this. So he learns the method of bebop from Charlie Parker. Just want to throw that in for y'all. All right. That's when you hear when Leon Huff playing and stuff like that, you hear like the certain gospel bebop sound. All right. Connect dots. All right, bebop, a form of jazz characterized by fast tempos, velocity techniques, and advanced harmonies. Parker was a blazing fast virtuoso, and he introduced revolutionary harmonized ideas, including rapid passing chords, new variants of auto chords, and chord substitutions. His tone ranged from clean and penetrating to sweet and sober. Parker acquired the nickname Yardbird early in his career on the road with Mr. J. Mishan. This and the shortened form Bird continued to be used for the rest of his life, inspiring the titles of numbers of Parker compositions, such as Yardbird Suite or Mythology. Bird gets the worm and the bird of paradise. That's one of my favorites. Bird, no, Parker was an icon for the hipsters subculture. Later, the beat general personified of jazz musicians as a uncompromising artist and intellectual rather than just a entertainer. We're gonna check out the childhood. Always a lady. Thanks for coming back. Appreciate that. Charlie Parker Jr. was born in Kansas City at 852 Freeman Street and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, near Westport, and later in high school near 15th and Olive Street. He was the only child of Charles Parker and Ali Bailey, who was a Miss Choctaw and African American background. He attended Lincoln High School, September 1934, but withdrew in December 1935 before joining the local musicians union and pursued his musical career full time. His childhood sweetheart and future wife, Rebecca Ruffin, graduated from Lincoln High School in June 1935. Parker began playing the saxophone at the age 11. At the age 14, he joined his high school band when he studied under bad master Alonzo Lewis. His mother pursued a new alto saxophone around the same time. His mother purchased a new alto saxophones around the same time. His father, Charles Sr., was often required to travel for work, but provide some musical influence because he was a pianist and singer of the TOBA circuit. He later became the Pullman waiter or chef on the railway. Parker's mother, Eddie, worked nights at local Western Union office. His biggest influence at the time was a young trombone player named Robert Simpson, who taught him the basics of improvisation. That's interesting. Early career. In the mid 1930s, Parker began to practice diligently. During the period, he mastered improvisations and developed some of his ideas that led to the later development of bebop. In an interview of Paul Desmond, he said that he spent 3 to 4 hours practicing up to 15 hours a day. Bands led by Count Basie and Benny Moten certainly influenced Parker. He played with local bands and jazz clubs around Kansas City, Missouri, where he perfected his technique with the assistance of Buster Smith, who dynamic transition to double and triple time influenced Parker developing styles. In late spring 1936, Parker played at the Jam session at the Reno Club in Kansas City. His attempt to improvise failed when he lost track of the chords change. This prompted Joe Jones, the drummer to Count Basie Orchestra, could temporarily throw a cymbal at his feet as a signal to leave the stage. However, rather than discourage Parker, the incident caused him to vow to practice harder and turned out to be a seminal moment in the young musician career, where he returned as a new man a year later. Parker proposed his wife Rebecca Ruffin the same year, and the two was married on July 25th, 1936. In the fall of 1936, Parker traveled with a band from Kansas City to the Ozarks for the opening of Clarence Musser's Tavern south of Eldon, Missouri. Along the way, the caravan of musicians had a car accident, and Parker broke 3 ribs and fractured his spine. The accident led to Parker ultimate troubles with painkillers and opioids, especially heroin. Parker struggled with drugs use for the rest of his life. Despite his near-death experience by the way to the Ozarks in 1936, Parker returned to the area in 1937 when he spent some serious time woodshedding and developing his sound. In 1938, Parker joined pianist Jay Mashan Territory Band. The band toured nightclubs and other venues in the Southwest, as well as Chicago and New York City. Parker made his professional recording debut with Mashan's band, New York City. In 1939, Parker moved to New York City to pursue a career in music. He held several other jobs. He worked for $9 a week as a dishwasher at Jimmy's Chicken Shack, where pianist Art Tatum performed, another jazz legend. It was in 1939 in New York that Parker had his musical breakthrough that began in 1937 in the Missouri Ozark. Playing through the chains of Cherokee. Cherokee. Parker discovered a new musical vocabulary that sounds forever shift the course of music history. In 1940, he returned to Kansas City to perform with Jay Mashan and attended the funeral of his father, Charles Sr. He played Fairyland Park in the summer with Machan's band at 75th and Prospect for all-white audience. The upside of the summer was his introduction to Gillespie Gillespie by Step Buddy Anderson near 19th and Vine in the summer of 1940. After the summer season at Fairyland, Parker left with Machan Band for the gigs in the region. On a trip to Omaha, he earned the name from Machan and the band after a incident with a chicken and a tour bus. In 1942, Parker left Machan's band and played for 1 year with Earl Hines, whose band included Dizzy Gillespie, who later played with Parker as a duo. duo. This period is virtually undocumented due to the strike of 1942 through 1943 by American Federation of Musicians, during which time few professional recording was made. Parker joined a group with young musicians and played in after-hours clubs in Harlem, such as Clark Monroe Uptown House. These young incucas includes Gillespie pianist, the only smart guitarist Charlie Christian, and drummer Kenny Clark. The bebopper's attitude was summed up in the famous quotations, attributes but to mark by Mary Lou Williams. We wanted music that we couldn't play. Oh, excuse me. They referred to white band leaders who had upsert and profit from swing music. The group played in venues on 52nd Street, that's in Manhattan, including Three Deuces and the Onyx. While in New York City, Parker studied with his music teacher, Maury Deutsch. According to an interview Park gave in the 1951 night, in 1939, he was playing Cherokee in the jam session with guitarist William Bibby Fleet when he hit upon a method of developing his solo that enabled one of his main musical innovators. He realized that the 12 semitones of the chromatic scale can lead melancholy to any key breaking of the confines of simpler jazz solo. Early in its development, this new style of jazz was rejected by many understanding traditional jazz musicians, which detained their younger counterparts. The beboppers responded by calling this traditional moldy figs. However, some musicians such as Coleman Hawkins and Tatum were more positive about its development and participating in jam sessions and recording dates in the new approach with its adherents. Because of the 2-year musician union ban of all commercial recordings from 1942 to 1944, much of the bebop early development was not captured its prosperity. As a result, it gained limited radio exposure. Bebop musicians had a difficulty time gaining widespread recognition, but it was not until 1945, when the recording ban was lifted, that Parker collaborated with Dizzy Gillespie, Max Roach. And now Max Roach sounds familiar. I think Max Roach, I believe he was a songwriter and collab a lot of Duke Ellington composers. I believe. I think Max Roach played the drums too. Okay, but y'all check it out yourself. Bud Powell and others had a substantial effect on the jazz world. One of their first small group performances together was rediscovered and issued in 2005, a concert in New York Town Hall on June 22nd, 1945. Bebop soon gained wider appeal among musicians and fans alike. On November 26, 1945, Parker led to a record date for Savior label. That was one of the main jazz record labels at that time. Marked as the greatest jazz sections ever. Recorded as Charlie Parker Reboppers, Parker enlisted sidemen as Gillespie and Miles Davis on trumpet, Curly Russell on bass, and Max Roach on drums. The track recorded during the section includes Coco, Billy's Bounce, and Now's the Time. In 1952, Parker and Gillespie released an album entitled Bird and This. Shortly afterwards, the Parker Gillespie band traveled to an unsuccessful engagement at the Billy Bird's Club in Los Angeles. Most of the groups returned to New York, but Parker remained in California, cashing in his return tickets to buy heroin. Hold on, family. Hold on. He experienced great hardship in California, eventually being committed to Camarillo State Mental Hospital for a 6-month period. Charlie Parker with strings. That was big. A long-standing desire of Parker was performing with a string section. It was a keen student of classical music, and contemporary reported that he was the most interested in the music and the former innovator of Igor Stravinsky, and that's another legend, and longed to engage to a project akin to what later became known as the third string, a new kind of music that incorporates both jazz and classical. And Parker improvised that too. Wow. Elements opposed to merely incorporating string section into performing of jazz standard. On November 30th, 1949, Norman Grant arranged for Parker to record an album of ballad with a mixed group of jazz and chamber orchestra musicians. 6 master take on this section comprised the album Charlie Parker with Strings, Just Friends, Everything Happened to Me, April in Paris, Summertime, I didn't know what time it was, and If I Should Lose You. Jazz at Massey Hall. In 1953, Parker performed at Massey Hall in Toronto, Canada, joined by Gillespie, Charlie Mingus. That's Charlie Mingus, another jazz legend that I will do in the future. Powell and Roach. Unfortunately, the concert happened at the same time as televised heavyweight match between Rocky Marciano and Jersey Walcott, so the musician event was poorly attended. Mingus recorded the concert, resulting in the album Jazz at Massey Hall. At this concert, Parker played a classic Great Grafton saxophone. At this point in his career, he was experimenting with new sounds and material. Parker himself explained the purpose of the plaid saxophone in the May 9, 1953 broadcast from Birdland, and did not again in the subsequent May 1953 broadcast. Parker was known to have played several saxophones in the Con 6M, the Martin Handcraft, and Selma Model 22. He is known as have performed with the King Super 20 saxophone. Parker King Super 20 saxophone was made specially for him in 1947. So he was very versatile of playing up different sax, different horns at the time. And that was very unheard of. Just as John Coltrane, same thing too. Well, y'all can go back and listen, watch that, what I did last night afterwards. Personal life. Parker life was riddled by depression and heroin addictions. This addiction caused him to miss performance to be considered unemployable. His frequent resort to busking, receiving loans from fellow musicians and admirers, and pawn his saxophones for drug money. Heroin use was rampant in the jazz scene, and use could acquire with a little difficulty. Although he produced many brilliant recordings during this period, Parker's behavior became increasingly erratic. Heroin was difficult to obtain once he moved to California, where the drugs were less abundant, so he used alcohol as a substitute. A recording at the Dot label from July 20, 1946 provided evidence of his condition. Before this session, Parker drank a quart of whiskey, according to liner note of Charlie Parker on a Dial Volume 1. Parker missed most of his two bars of his first chorus on the track, Max Making Wax. When he finally did come in, he swayed wildly, once sprung all the way around, away from his microphone. On the next two, Loverman produced Ross Russell, physically support Russell on bebop. The final track Parker recorded that evening, he began a solo with a solid first 8 bars on his second 8 bar. However, he begins to struggle as a desperate Howard McGee, the trumpet on this session, shout, blow at him. Charlie Mingus considered this a version of Lover Man to be among Parker's greatest recordings, despite its flaws. Nevertheless, Parker hated the recording and never forgave Russell for releasing it. He re-recorded the tune in 1951 for Verb. Parker's life took a turn for the worse when his 2-year-old daughter died of pneumonia. Wow. He attempted suicide twice in 1954, which landed him in a mental hospital. Parker received his discharge from a hospital. He was clean and healthy before leaving California. He recorded relaxing at the Camera in reference to his hospital stay. He returned to New York, resumed his addicted to heroin, and recorded dozens of sides for Sevier and Dollar labels, which remain some of the high points of his recording output. Many of these were his so-called classic quintet, including Davis and Roach. Parker died on March 12, 1955, in the suite his friend and partnerist Bartol Parnatica di Colliwater at the Standalone Hotel in New York City while watching the Dorsey Brothers stage show on television. The official cause of death was lumbar pneumonia and a bleeding ulcer, but Parker also had an advanced case of cirrhosis and suffered a heart attack. A coroner who performed his autopsy mistakenly estimated Parker's 34-year-old body to between the 50 and 60-year-old of age. Wow. Since Parker had been living with Jane Bird, the mother of his son Bear, who lived until 2014, and his daughter Prey, who died in the infant of Cersei Fortress. He considered Chan his wife, although he never married her. No, he divorced his previous wife, Doris, who had married in 1948. His marital status complicated the setting of Parker Estate would ultimately serve to frustrate his wishes to be quiet intern in New York City. Intern in New York City. Dizzy Gillespie paid for the funeral arrangements and organized a lion state and Harlem processing officiated by Congressman and Reverend Adam Clayton Powell, the late Greek Adam Clayton Powell. Also, I did a live stream about him too. Check it out. As well as memorial concerts. Parker's body was flown back to Missouri in accordance with his mother's wishes. Byrd criticized Doris and Parker's family to giving him a Christian funeral, even though they knew that he was confirmed atheist. Parker was buried at Lincoln Cemetery in Missouri in a hamlet known as Blue Summit, located close to I-435 and East Truman Road. Now, you go to talk about Parker style, talking about different compose he did, course pressure of jazz standards, high at the moon. Goes to show that he co-wrote the trumpet play Little Bitty Harris and Moose, the Mooch, one of many Parker's compositions based on chord progression. I got rhythm. He goes to show that he constantly practiced on bebop, and he practiced on one of the tools. Down at the time, Billy bounced Private, Barbados, relaxing at the Camarero, Bludito, and Cool Blues were based on the convention 12-bar blues change. Parker also created a unique version of the 12-bar blues for tools as Blue for Alice, Lays Bear, and Sasa. These unique chords are known as popular as the Bird Change. Like his solos, some of his compositions were categorized as long, complex, melodic lines and a minimum of repetition. Although he did not employ the use of repetition of some tunes, mostly notable now to time. Parker contributes greatly to the modern jazz solos, one of which triplets and pickup notes was used in orthodox ways to lead into chorus tones, affordable to soloists, more freedom to use passing tones, which soloists previously avoided. Parker also admired his unique style and phrase and innovative use of rhythm via his recordings and the population of the posthumous published Charlie Parker Amen book. Parker identifiable style dominates jazz for many years to come. Better known as Parker compositions includes Ailey Cha, Anthropologist, co-written by Gillespie, Confirmation, Constellation, Donna Lee, Moose to Mooch, Scrap from the Apple, and Yardbird Sweet. The vocal version, which is called What Price Love with lyrics by Parker. Miles Davis once said, "You could tell the truth of jazz are 4 words: Louis Armstrong, Charlie Parker." Wow. Thanks for coming, everybody. Down Jeff George, and that big beautiful one. All reliable, my brother, as always. Thanks for coming. All reliable. I say that. Zion, thanks for coming. Positive side. Thanks for coming. Let me get this out. and everything. Thanks for coming, family. Really appreciate that. We're gonna do the awards of recognition. Bird Live Sculpture, Robert Graham in Kansas City. Okay, Charlie Parker Grammy Award history, 1974, best performed by soloist. First recorded is Jazz Onyx. You know, that was like almost 29, 30 years prior to that. Because of Charlie Parker was introduced of Grammy Hall of Fame, which is a special Grammy established in 1973 on the record at least 25 years old and have a quantitative of historical significance. Now, okay, 1945 Billy Bounce, Jazz Single Savior Night 2002. 1953 Jazz at Massey Hall Jazz album debut. That year they introduced in 1995. 1946 Etymology Jazz single that the label Dial. Year introduced 1989. 1950 Charlie Parker with Strings Jazz album Mercury introduced introduct in 1988. Years introduced 2004 Jazz at Lincoln Center, Nusha Antigua Jazz Hall of Fame 2004. Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award 1984. Big Band and Jazz Hall of Fame 1989. And in 1995, U.S. Postal Service issued a 32-cent contemporary postage stamp in Parker's honor. In 2002, Library of Congress honored his recording Coco 1944 by adding this national recording. So, go show. Again, I drop another one. Another jazz innovator. The late, great Charlie Parker Jr., better known as Charlie Chang, Yarborough, or Bird. He played almost every saxophone and mastered as he is. That's why he's most innovative in music. And also, he was the founder of bebop and other swing music too, with classical music. He's part of that too. So now I hit you with John William Coltrane. I hit you, boom, Charlie Parker Jr. Let's not forget about them. And also I did some in the back. I want y'all to look for. I did the women in the past too. These are jazz innovators. These are music innovators. Like Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald. They were doing things. They were doing their voices like they had a instrument. It would sound so sexy and beautiful. They're not improvise. These are innovators that we don't talk about. That happen in our community. We started it. We always finish it. So let's understand this, that this was not long ago. And let's respect what they bring to popular music. Let's appreciate their contributions so their work would stand forever. There are actually people who try to mimic them, but they don't get close. We have to understand and respect their contribution. We have to respect their contribution. We have to learn from it, and we have to learn about social time. Despite Charlie Parker had a short life with her and depression and stuff, what happened? He got in a car accident back in 1937, I'm not believing. How about he never got in the accident? Ain't what tell it what he could do. Just as John Coltrane too. John Coltrane would take heroin too. So, but we ain't gonna talk. We could imagine they could have, but it doesn't make a difference. But they brought something to the table. They brought something that was going to last forever, worldwide, globally. And let's respect what they bring to the table, and let's show our kids in our community that this music is important. Let's tell them about the times too. And that's very important. So let me see how many people in the live and everything. D Red, the Blue Collar Scar, thanks for coming. Brother Dubian, thanks for coming. Let's see it there. Annette B, beautiful one, thanks for coming. Rainy Woban, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. See anybody else. Always a lady. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Come back. Jeff George. Let's get them lights up, fam. Let's get them lights up. Thanks for coming. Let me type this first. Okay. Oh. All right, let's get that. Thanks for coming, Jeff George. Thanks for coming. So I learned some. Oh yeah, I did like let me see. I could talk about a few minutes. AM Moore, thanks for coming. Check on the weed wine. I just finished doing right there. See home family, home. See. Oh, fam, hold on. I got everybody. AM Moore, thanks for coming. Hold on, family. Hold on for a second. One. Let's see. Oh, family, trying to do something. But I'm glad you came. Very much appreciated. See something. Oh yeah, I want y'all to check out. I did a collab with KU Boxing too. Matter of fact, I'm gonna hold on, son. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Okay, then I'm gonna send a link. That's what I did. A KQKC boxing. That's a collab. But then I'm gonna send another one. I'm gonna send on the one that I did last night about John Coltrane. So y'all can go check that out. All right. So hold on, fam. I want you to check before I close this out. I want to thank everybody for coming. Very much appreciated. All right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hold on, family. All right, here you go. The first one is a collab with my brother KQKC Boxing. I want y'all to support him. All right, KQKC Boxing. I want you to support. We talked about cancer, and we also talk about boxing. I want you to check it out. That was a great live stream. I want you to check it out. And you know, anybody that is on cancer, you had loved ones and stuff that passed away, only remission. I want you to check that out. All right. The second one, that's what I did last night, John Coltrane. So I'm giving y'all two of this. All right. And I want to thank you. Thanks again for joining me. And I promise I don't know. I'm gonna bring you another one. I might do another one tonight. I don't know. It's gonna be music and stuff. I don't know yet. But if I am, it's gonna be a little late one, maybe like between 11:30, 12 o'clock. Depends. Never know, I might do another one. But I want to thank y'all so much for joining. And like I said, share this, please. Very much appreciate. Share this, please. And thank y'all. And on that, I am Ghost.